the tools that fueled a conquest across the East. Explore the complete history and design of every Japanese firearm deployed during the Second World War.
Starting off with rifles. Type 30 rifle. The Japanese military standardized this rifle in the year 1897. It was the first main service rifle chambered for the 6.5mm Japanese cartridge. It was generally reliable, but its safety mechanism was notoriously complex to operate. Type 35 Navy rifle, designed specifically for the Imperial Japanese Navy. It featured improvements over the Type 30, including better weather sealing. It often utilized a hinged dust cover over the ejection port, protecting the action from sea spray. Type 38 carbine, a shorter, lighter variant of the workhorse Type 38. It maintained the rifle's legendary ruggedness and reliability, ideal for officers, engineers, and supply units needing a compact weapon. Type 44 cavalry rifle, the dedicated cavalry rifle, instantly recognizable by its unique folding spike bayonet. This feature made the weapon much easier to store on horseback. It also had a specific compartment for a two-piece cleaning rod. The next one, Type 97 sniper rifle, Japan's first true sniper rifle. It was based on the Type 38 action and retained the soft-shooting 6.5mm cartridge. Snipers appreciated the low report and minimal flash, allowing them to remain concealed after a shot. Now this is the Type 99 short rifle. This became the most widely produced version of the Type 99. It was easier to manufacture than the original long version. It was the standard issue arm for the Imperial Army during the bulk of the Pacific conflict. Type 99 sniper rifle, an upgrade for snipers, utilizing the larger 7.7mm caliber for increased terminal ballistics. It was typically fitted with a 2.5 power scope. Production was very limited compared to the Type 97 model. Type 2 paratrooper rifle, a highly specialized takedown rifle issued exclusively to paratroopers. It could be disassembled quickly into two parts for deployment. While ingenious, the locking mechanism often proved fragile in combat conditions. Type 4 rifle, Japan's attempt to reverse engineer the American M1 Garand semi-automatic rifle. They modified the design to accept their 7.7mm ammunition. Only a very small number were ever built, remaining largely an experimental weapon. Next on the list is submachine guns. Type 100 submachine gun. This was the only Japanese submachine gun to be successfully mass-produced. It utilized the 8mm Nambu pistol round. Earlier versions featured a bayonet lug and a specific angled foregrip. The next one, Type 2 submachine gun, a rudimentary design intended for extremely low cost, late war mass production. It was meant to be easily fabricated by smaller workshops. Very few of these simplified weapons actually reached the front lines. Next on the list is light machine guns. Type 11 light machine gun, instantly recognizable by its unique top-mounted hopper feed system. It was designed to use standard 5-round rifle stripper clips. Unfortunately, the open hopper made the mechanism highly vulnerable to dust and mud in the field. Type 96 light machine gun, a vast improvement over the earlier Type 11. It introduced the more conventional detachable box magazine. This light machine gun was generally reliable and included both a bipod and a separate bayonet lug. Type 99 light machine gun. This weapon scaled up the successful Type 96 design to use the larger 7.7mm rifle cartridge. It offered substantial hitting power. It was one of the primary support weapons used against Allied forces throughout the Pacific campaigns. Let's move on to heavy machine guns. Type 3 heavy machine gun, Japan's first major heavy machine gun, officially adopted in the Taisho third year. This water-cooled weapon was incredibly heavy and needed a large crew to operate. It remained in service for decades, often relegated to secondary duties. Type 92 heavy machine gun. This iconic weapon, often nicknamed the Woodpecker by Allied troops due to its distinctive slow firing sound. It utilized 7.7mm ammunition fed by rigid brass strips. It was incredibly rugged but challenging to move quickly. Type 1 heavy machine gun, introduced late in the war as a simpler, lighter, air-cooled alternative to the heavy Type 92. It used a standard metal link belt feed system. It aimed to speed up machine gun production and deployment, continuing with anti-tank rifles. Type 97, automatic cannon. This was primarily a 20mm automatic cannon used in anti-tank and anti-aircraft roles. It was often fitted to armoured vehicles or used as a static defence weapon. Its heavy explosive shell packed a serious punch. Now let's look at pistols and revolvers. Type 26 revolver, adopted in the year 1893, this was an outdated weapon by the time World War II began. It featured an unusual break-open frame for reloading. It was notable for being strictly double action only. Type AA Nambu pistol, often referred to by collectors as the Grandpa Nambu. This was General Kijiro Nambu's initial semi-automatic pistol design. It featured sophisticated machining, but was very costly to produce. Type 94 Nambu pistol. This unusual design was created for rapid, low-cost production. It became infamous because the exposed sear mechanism on the side could be accidentally depressed. This allowed the pistol to fire even without pulling the trigger. Type 2 Hamada pistol, a relatively rare pistol that deviated from the Nambu design lineage. It was influenced heavily by the American Browning-style pistols. It was adopted in small numbers by the Imperial Japanese Navy as a substitute standard sidearm, then Hino Komuro pistol, a truly bizarre and mechanically complicated pistol prototype. It employed a very unusual gas-operated cycling system. The design was complex and reportedly unreliable, meaning it never left the testing stage. Sugiura pistol. This was one of the many small-scale late-war pistol designs used by Japan. It was a simple blowback pistol, often very crude in appearance. It was designed to maximize limited manufacturing resources late in the conflict. Now this is the Inagaki pistol, an extremely obscure, simplified pistol, designed primarily to arm naval personnel. It featured a basic blowback mechanism. Production was minimal and primarily limited to the final years of the fighting. Finally, we have signal pistols. Type 10 flare pistol, adopted in the Taisho 10th year. This was Japan's initial dedicated flare pistol. It utilized a single large barrel for signaling. It was eventually replaced by more advanced multi-barrel designs. Type 90 flare pistol. This standard issue flare pistol was unique for featuring two barrels. This allowed the user to load and fire two different colored signals quickly. It was extremely important for naval and coordinating ground forces. Next, Type 97 flare pistol, a slightly simplified and more compact variant intended for signal use. It was also commonly used to fire small smoke or illuminations rounds. It maintained the standard break action loading of the earlier signal pistols.
नमस्कार दोस्तों 6 अगस्त